As we entered the bathroom, he emptied his pockets and pulled out a small plastic baggie and rolled up a $20 bill. "What are you doing?" I asked the hot guy. "Coke," he replied. "Oh," I said, as I watched him put the $20 bill into his left nostril and snort up the cocaine he had laid out on the toilet paper holder. Suddenly, the allure of doing coke was lost on me. It wasn't nearly as glamorous as when they did it in Boogie Nights, and Julianne Moore flipped out on Roller Girl and told her she would be her mother. "Want some?" the hot guy asked as he wiped his nose. Okay," I replied. "And why not? What is the worst that could happen?" "Can you just give me a second?" I asked. The hot guy left me alone in the bathroom to contemplate whether or not to do the drugs that sat before me. I really wanted to look cool in front of the hot guy, but was nervous about doing coke. I then wondered what life would be like if I started doing drugs. Was I to end up like a junkie, or someone famous like Liza Minnelli, who was pretty much coked up through the 70s? As I pondered what to do, an apparition appeared in the bathroom. "Say no to drugs," the figure said. I could not see who was standing before me. I had so much to drink that night, I was not sure if I was hallucinating or seeing a real person. As the figure came closer, I knew exactly who it was. "Say no to drugs," the figure said again. I wiped my eyes and saw a little old lady in a red pantsuit approaching me. "Damn you, Nancy Reagan." She had come to me again. Nancy first came to me in a vision when I smoked weed for the first time, and now she is back. "I warned you that pot was the gateway drug, and now look at you," Nancy said as she gestured toward the pile of cocaine that was sitting on the toilet paper holder. "Now you are about to take cocaine. Shame on you, Mark." "But Nancy, I really want to hook up with that hot guy," I said. Surely Nancy Reagan understood the ins and outs of the gay life in New York. She was kind of like a fag hag with all those power suits. "Oh, you homosexuals and your drugs," she said with a laugh. "I have come to so many of you, and no one ever listens. Look at what happened to Paul Lynde, for Christ's sake." "Maybe you're right, Nancy," I said. Then suddenly I remembered why I had not listened to Nancy Reagan in the first place. "Wait a minute, Nance. I remember why I didn't listen to you before. You stole Ronald Reagan away from my beloved Jane Wyman, star of Falcon Crest, the best show ever on television. I'm not listening to a word you say. Don't tell me not to do drugs after you went around stealing another woman's man." And with that, I took the rolled up $20 bill and snorted the cocaine. "Remember, my dear, crack is whack," she said. "Whatever," I replied. "Your husband's administration was a joke." And with that, Nancy disappeared. While this very special episode of Different Strokes was taking place in the club room, the hot guy was outside knocking on the door. "Are you okay in there?" the hot guy asked. I opened the door and replied, "Yeah, I'm fine. Just hashing out a few things with Nancy Reagan." He looked dumbfounded. "Pretty good shit, huh?" he said. "Good shit indeed."
In his tap shoes, he was so freaking cute. God love you, Shonn Wiley. And God love cultural references from the 80s. One game I used to love to play when I got fucked up was, what ridiculous web of lies can I create to get someone to sleep with me? I once pretended to be a casting director on All My Children to bet a hot model until he told me he was really actually auditioning for All My Children that week, and quickly realized I had absolutely nothing to do with the show. Apparently, being obsessed with Susan Lucci does not a casting director make. Then I pretended to know sign language to hook up with a hot deaf kid. That worked out well until I realized he was signing "I have a boyfriend" the whole time, and almost got my ass kicked by said boyfriend. But the pickup story that sticks out for many is the one where I offered to help someone move in the middle of the night after 37 drinks. This is why you shouldn't drink. This is exactly why you should always drink. To read our next excerpt is my favorite new shit show from The Toxic Avenger and Legally Blonde, The Search for the Next Elle Woods. However, she has also appeared on All My Children as Trixie the Hooker, which, if my calculations are correct, makes me 1 degree away from Susan Lucci and hopefully one step closer to living out my dream of sleeping in a pile of that woman's dirty laundry. Please welcome Selena Carval. That's not really how you say her name, but I'm like stroking out right now.